Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most inclusive pop culture podcast on the planet, the Fun Pop Fan Guys. That's right, the Fun Pop Fan Guys. We are here today to talk about some really fun pop culture related things. And that is our favorite sports movies. So we have a full podcast talking about the best or favorite sports movies of all our panelists. And then we want you to be a part of it and jump down in the comments and tell us your favorite sports movies. And I'll tell you real quick. First, my name is Rich Morton, and I am the co-host of the Fun Pop Fan Guys podcast. And we have a lovely panel here, including my co-host, Mr. Mark Lazo.
Oh, thank you very much, Rich. And always a pleasure and a privilege to be in the company of such prestigious individuals. As we have a very juicy topic to discuss for this episode, we're talking about our favorite sports movies. What a great genre. Always found sports movies to be inspirational or comical, but many different sports movies, many different personalities here in the Fun Pop Fan Gang. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see what titles come up depending on who we talk to. So let's go ahead and jump right into this discussion with the queen of the Fun Pop Fan Gang, the lovely Miss Dawn. How's it going, Dawn? Oh, Dawn, you were muted.
Muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Mark. How are you?
Doing great, Dawn. Doing great. How about yourself? You have a good Thanksgiving?
Yes. You stayed home. It was all right.
All right. Good. So, Dawn, I know that whenever we do an episode, well, quite frequently, you love to talk about sports, whether it's your own athletic endeavors and your Special Olympics competitions, or talking about some of your favorite professional athletes. So I feel like this is a topic that you would be really all about this. So since you love sports, I would imagine that you love some sports movies as well. What might be one of your favorite sports movies?
Oh my God, I have a couple of sports movies like Friday Night Lights. I'm sorry, can't get this right. Drum Gun, Rudy. I like Rudy most of all, though.
Rudy. Yes, well, as a big nerd myself and a huge fan of the Lord of the Rings franchise, big fan here of Rudy, starring the inimitable Sean Astin.
And going back to even before then, Goonies, one of the quintessential 80s family kids adventures movies, where Sean Astin was one of the big stars in it and got his career off the ground. But I think Rudy is what really put him on the map.
Yeah, I think you're right, Rich. And I think that might be how a young Sean Astin might have dodged some of those pitfalls that a lot of young Hollywood stars, childhood stars, don't make it out of. But that he did this big thing with the Goonies, and then we didn't hear from him through his puberty years. And then I feel like the next time I heard from him was in Rudy. Yeah. So, Dawn, tell me about what is it about this movie that made it stand out to you?
I just liked when he was in school, and he was daydreaming, and the teacher told him that there's no room for daydreamers here, and that they're going on a trip to go see Notre Dame, and then he didn't have enough credit, so he had to go to Holy Cross first, community college, and then when he went to go visit Notre Dame, there was a custodian out on the field, and he
Don, I gotta pump the brakes here. We don't need to hear like the entire plot, but more like general idea. What was it about this movie that that stood out to you? Like, I don't need like the whole specific scene, but what was there a message in the movie that that really spoke to you?
I have to say, yeah, when he told the custodian when he went to go visit, and he told the custodian, "I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna play for Notre Dame today, and I'm gonna run out onto the field." And the custodian told him, "Well, not this day." But
So
he was gonna play. He's gonna play for Notre Dame, and he did it. He did it. He went set his goal, and he was gonna play for Notre Dame, and he did.
even though he had people around him telling him he couldn't do it, or maybe trying to discourage him from dreaming his big dream.
Because they all laughed at him because when he was a child, he said, "I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go to Notre Dame when I get older, and when I grow up, I'm gonna go to Notre Dame and I'm gonna play football for Notre Dame." And they all laughed at him, and they were like, "Yeah, right, whatever." He didn't think he could do it, but he did it because they all told him that he was too short to play football when he was a little kid.
Yeah. So he wasn't a child. He was just he was a normal college age adult, but he was just very small for his age. Is that correct?
No, when he was a child, they were playing football outside practicing, and then the kids told him that they all let him when he said, "I'm going to go to college at Notre Dame and I'm going to play football for Notre Dame."
So would you say that pretty much everybody told him, you can't do this, you can't do this? You got one of those things where nobody, but he believed in himself and ended up proving everybody wrong.
Yes, Rich. He believed in himself. He believed in himself, and Rich, he proved himself wrong, Rich, which is amazing because it's hard to prove, to people and prove that everyone wrong around you because it's very hard, Rich.
It's a very inspirational and a true story. This is a true story.
It's based on a true story. Yes, it's based on a true story.
Yeah, and it's definitely one of my favorites. And I would say I think a lot of these sports movies definitely have a theme of the underdog, whether it's a fictional movie or a true story. So I think Rudy is like one of the story of one of the biggest underdogs in sports movie history. That came back and ended up being the guy that's up on all the players, right, cheering, right. That shot, that shot almost like gave me chills watching that. Just like,
but that's why I gave him a lot of credit, Rich, because he did it. He proved everybody wrong, and I sit here in my own sports, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how can I do that? I can't prove everybody wrong because I'm always down talking, told I can't do this, I can't do that, So it's hard for me to try to prove people wrong.
Sure, I'm sure we've all felt that way in one way or another. I know I have, where somebody.
It's especially hard, Rich and Mark, for people with disabilities to say, "Hey, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to show you I can do this. I'm going to go here and then," because you have a lot of people that down talking all the time, every day. So it's hard, very hard, especially for a person with a developmental disability.
That brings us back to the old topic of self-advocacy, and just somebody that can advocate for themselves. That's like what Rudy was doing, basically, advocating to say, you know what, I can play football, I can be on this team. I'm going to work harder than everybody else, and which is what he did. He worked harder than everybody else, and that hard work is what got him to where he ended up being. So, thanks, Dawn. That was sharing some good info on that movie. If you haven't seen it, folks, go see Rudy. Classic.
All right. So going up to our good friend Eric here. Eric, you got any sports movies?
Space Jam movies.
Space Jam movies. And how many of those do we have?
So this one is the first one with the Looney Tunes who first existed in this movie because of commercial ads for Michael Jordan's outfits and stuff for that segments that from commercial ads. And then the movie come after that. It's this one.
Oh, now you're talking about, so what year did the first one come out, Eric?
I don't know what year, but I just know it came out.
This would be, I think, in the early 90s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, at the height of Jordan fever. That's when he was at the height of his career. The biggest sports star probably in the world. And so it's fitting that he was in this movie. And What's different about this movie, Eric, than a lot of other movies? What's pretty cool about the movie? What do they have in there?
Um, they have Looney Tunes in the movie.
So they have animated cartoon characters interacting with like real human beings, right?
That's Michael Jordan. Yes.
I might. And
So
was
like
that one of
Mike,
the first? Was that like the first movie to do that, or were there other movies that
The
maybe
first
influenced?
movie like that, and then the other one is Space Jam New Legacy, doing the same thing.
Right. But what, didn't
didn't
you?
Roger Rabbit come out around that time too?
I might have.
Yeah, Roger Rabbit was the one that came out and also had some Looney Tunes in it. And I think Eric, you mentioned an old Disney movie that before that there was cartoon characters in it.
Oh yes. Mary Poppins just started doing it too.
Yeah, so Mary
Yes.
Poppins back then, and that was like a huge feat. Not huge feat like, Mickey Mouse feat, but a huge accomplishment to be able to have cartoon characters interacting with live people. And that was in like what, the 60s. But this brings us to the 90s. And what about this movie? What you love about this movie, Eric?
I like this movie with Looney Tunes and Michael Jordan team up to fight the space invaders, like the ones who gets to play basketball.
So they got to fight.
Like
They got to play
aliens.
basketball against the aliens. They play the aliens.
Yeah, because they sort of hidden talents to use their abilities to, I guess, don't play basketball that way.
And so Eric, the second one that came out with LeBron James,
Yeah.
is that a reboot or is that a sequel? Is that a whole new story or does it continue where the first one left off?
I don't know what the story is going forward with that, but one actor who's in here is that guy from the Avengers movies. One of them.
Which movies?
Yeah.
Oh, did you
Robert?
say John Favreau?
Yeah.
Which
As
is funny
LT
because
Rhythm, the villain.
that's fun. He was the villain, but he was also the best friend to Rudy in the movie Rudy. John
Yeah.
Favreau was way before anybody knew who he was. He was like a bit part or like a supporting character. Believe it or not, he was Rudy's best friend in that movie. So look at how that comes together. Six
Look at that.
degrees of John Favreau.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Eric. And as we predicted at the beginning, I mean, we were already seeing a tremendous variance in the different types of movies here that different people on our panel are bringing up. And on that note, let's get to the newest member of the Fun Pop fan gang, our good friend Jonathan. How's it going, Jonathan?
Finland.
Good. How are you, Mark?
Doing great, doing great. Do you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, you?
I sure did. Yes, my stuffing was a big hit, as was my purple sweet potato pie.
Stuffing.
I make a very good stuffing, Eric, from scratch.
Ah.
But all
You
right.
stuffed with it?
Yeah, I was very stuffed, Eric. Yes,
You know my pun is.
I was stuffing my face with stuffing.
Yeah.
All right, Jonathan. In the sports film genre, are there any movies that stand out to you? Sports movies that you especially liked?
I liked the Iron Claw.
Ah, yes, The Iron Claw. Now this is a movie that I definitely, even I've not seen this one yet, which I'm ashamed to say, but because I was a huge wrestling fan growing up in the 80s. Although I will say, well, what was the family that this movie was about, Jonathan?
The Von Erich family.
The Von Erich family, wrestling royalty, legends. You had the father Fritz Von Erich, yes? And then all of his sons got into the business as well.
Yeah.
What did you like about this movie?
I liked it had like wrestling, and it had a lot of action. It showed like their lives and all the story behind their careers.
Right. Very interesting, I think. Number one, to hear the behind the scenes of what was happening in these wrestlers' lives outside of the ring. But I think,
WWE.
what was that, Eric?
I said, you mean WWE?
WWE. Well, it wasn't until later on that Kerry Von Erich
Oh,
wrestled in the WWE, which was the WWF at the time. And he called himself the Texas Tornado. But before that, they were not part of the WWF. They were part of the Southern Territories. Any famous actors in this movie we might know of, Jonathan?
Yeah. Zac Efron.
Is that
Yes,
is this Zac Efron in the middle here?
Yeah.
it is.
Wow, they really
yeah,
I guess he really bulked up for this role, I'm guessing, huh?
Yeah.
He did, and I think Rich, they might he might be coming back for a sequel. There's a clause in his contract.
Mark, didn't he play on the Incredible Hulk?
Sorry,
Yeah.
Don. I just had to sigh there for a second. Bad pun.
It was a
You got to get in a
clause.
bad pun in there, Mark. Very good.
It was a it was a clause in his.
And coming up, he might have the Santa Claus contract.
Oh, the claw.
The claw. The claw is gonna. Sorry, Don. What were you saying?
Zac Efron's from High School movies.
That's
That's
right.
it.
Don, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Nothing.
Oh, well, that's okay. Not.
All right, I got to say, I'm happy you brought this one up here, Jonathan. I'm surprised that Eric didn't bring this up. Eric, being the huge wrestling fanatic that you are.
And it was the story of the Erics.
Yeah.
Right, Von Erich,
The
Eric
Von
Von
Erichs.
Erich.
But also,
About
besides
to
Zac
say-
Efron, is this the gentleman Jeremy Allen White was also one of the
yeah.
brothers? Yeah, he was. Mike, where do you know this guy from?
Shameless and stuff. Shameless.
The show's Shameless and just played Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
and the show
We
The
are
Bear.
the
The Bear. If
will,
anybody's
we
seen, that's a great
are
show.
the children.
You know, Rich, I couldn't bear to watch.
I had strike two, Mark.
Day
Strike
was
two right
a
there.
living.
I just don't know if I'm qualified to tell these jokes.
All right. Well, you're really cooking now. If you saw The Bear, you'd understand that fun.
Oh,
Anyway,
Yeah, the Bears.
all
All
right.
show.
but
I think
the
I've hit
Bear.
my cook, guys. That's
We
two
are
strikes
the
again.
that's two
will,
strikes.
we
Well,
about to
are
grab a
the
big fat
children.
Jonathan, I'm glad you brought that up. I haven't seen that yet either, and I'm definitely gonna have to go watch it. So
Hey, Rich. Zac
What's up,
Efron is in High School.
that is correct.
High School
that's
Musical.
which is a sports movie about what?
Sports.
Basketball.
About basketball. So that
Yeah.
also is a sports movie. So there you go.
I do have to
Sports-
just again, as I did with Sean Astin, I have to flash my nerd membership card and point out that Zac Efron did appear in a Firefly episode, one of my favorite shows of all time.
Oh wow, Mark, that's a deep
What
cut. That's one
episode?
of my favorite episodes. I forgot he was in that. That's one of my favorite
What
shows.
episode of what show?
Firefly. Ever see Firefly, Eric?
Huh.
That was a show. I wanted to say 1999.
Yeah,
wow.
it got. I think it might have been more like 2000, like
Oh, in 2000 era. Okay.
2001 or two.
That's
Joss
in 2000
Whedon.
era. That's in 2000 era.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, great show. Canceled way before its time. Went on and they made a
Canceled.
movie called
Yeah.
Serenity. But anyway, we'll have to when we do a podcast about the greatest science fiction and sci-fi fantasy shows.
Star
We'll have
Wars?
to talk about that more.
I mean, it being a pop culture podcast, I just felt obliged to make that connection. But
That- Big time. Good.
and so batting in the cleanup position here, our good friend Big Mike, you inspired me to wear this T-shirt
Mike?
today.
Nice.
Nice.
Big Mike, what sports movie did you want to talk about?
Rocky.
Rocky, the whole
Yes.
franchise, really, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So we're not talking about any one specific Rocky movie, right? You want to talk about the whole series.
Yes.
So we discussed in last episode your affinity for Sylvester Stallone. Talking specifically about these Rocky movies, Mike, is there one that is your favorite out of all of them?
I like I like the third one and stuff, Mr. T, right here.
Oh my gosh, Mike, that's
Yeah,
my
it's right
favorite
here.
Rocky.
I pity the fool who likes that
Hey,
one. I pity the
fool.
fool
Yeah,
who likes that
yeah,
one.
painful. Yeah,
Painful.
there's Apollo Creed trained him in the third one and stuff.
He sure did. Yes, of that great scene where they're racing on the beach.
Yeah,
We cannot talk about Rocky 3 without mentioning that this might be the best movie theme song in the history of movie
Rich.
theme songs.
yeah.
Can
I
anybody
have
tell
the
me?
tiger. I have the
Eye of the
tiger.
Tiger.
Yeah.
The Eye of the Tiger.
Survivor's Eye of the Tiger.
Rich. So I
Yes,
dropped
sir.
in. Who said Pitbull, the actor who did that line?
Mr. T.
Mr. T.
The
Number
actor, not the character.
That is the actor. His name was Mr. T.
Oh, all right.
The character's
That
name was
Booker
Clubber
T?
Lang. The character was Clubber Lang. I don't know if his birth certificate said Mr. first name and then T last name.
Booker
I
T
think he
did
has
that part?
He has a born with a different first, but everybody knows him as Mr. T.
I don't think he's related to Booker T, the wrestler, Eric,
Mhm.
but he might be cousin to
Oh,
Mr. Coffee.
God.
All right, strike three. All right,
Oh,
we're
gee. Oh, no.
removing Mark
That's
from this podcast. So we're removing him. He's being removed.
I'm out of the game.
We're gonna get a big cane to pull Mark off
Right.
the screen there.
Yeah,
We need a
back to
gong.
business.
We did have
Back
a
to
Yeah,
gong
Hulk
back
business.
here.
Hogan.
All right, back to business, Mike. Way to go, Mike. Back to
Yeah.
business.
Back to
Okay.
business.
So-
Very serious
So
business here.
Hollywood
So-
Hulk Hogan was in Rocky 3. Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. Who did?
Yeah,
What was?
from
what
up
was
here's up here.
I
Yeah,
remember. Do you remember what the name of his character was?
Thunder Lips.
Thunder Lips.
Yeah,
Thunder Lips.
One of
And that was
one of
before
my.
that was before Hulk Hogan was really famous, right? That was before he was like a WWF champion and everything.
That's
right?
what.
and
That's
very
what put
sad
him
what
on the
happened to
map,
him.
Rich.
He passed away. Very sad what
Oh,
happened to
can we
him.
not say it for me? I just know him.
Thunder Lips also one of my nicknames. Just on a side note.
Say Zane?
Do any other guys have a favorite Rocky movie?
I prefer Rocky 3 and Rocky 1 for the drumline and the Survivor song.
Oh, there you go. I know
Right, yeah.
Rocky 4 is definitely a highlight for me. Ivan Drago and the whole very great movie. Spoiler alerts if you guys, it's like kind of like 35 years in 40 years in spoilers, but there was definitely a big emotional scene in Rocky 4 that
I must break you.
I must break you.
You guys watch the Creed
But,
movies?
The which movies?
The Creed movies are the Rocky movies.
Yeah, Creed, another, and which shows how this franchise is still living on today. And I think there might be even making another Creed movie with Michael B. Jordan. So that's definitely arguably one of the best sports movie franchises in cinema history. So good pick, Mr. Mike, Mr. Big Mike.
Thank you.
So, Rich, what about yourself here? You got any favorite sports movies?
Well, Mike took Rocky, but behind Rocky, very close big part of the 80s. For me, definitely the spoiler alert. Go back. The Karate Kid. The Karate Kid was a huge movie. I loved when I was a kid. And this is another movie series that is almost as big today as it was back then. Thanks to Cobra Kai. So this little visual here, I got the old school Mr. Miyagi and Daniel LaRusso, and then older Daniel LaRusso with Johnny. And so yeah, I love the Karate Kid and the other movies, and then all the way up to Cobra Kai today. But I think it's hard to beat the original. That was another one of those underdog stories that just a great, you're the best around.
Oh yeah, another great soundtrack.
classic movie montage scene.
which-
there.
Montage.
Oh, and we have to talk about movie montages in sports movies, right? Every great sports movie has to have a training montage, right? Where they're training.
Of course.
And
Right, well, we talked about Stallone and Carl Weathers racing on the beach.
right.
Then you had Rocky IV, the training montage where
Rocky's in the snow in Russia, pulling all the big things and the tires, and then you got
Right.
Drago on all this equipment, right?
he's got steroids and everything. Yes. Oh, yes. Excellent. Oh, and of course, Bananarama, Cruel Summer featured prominently.
Oh yeah, Karate Kid's got a great '80s soundtrack. Great '80s soundtrack. But yeah, Ralph Macchio, who is we've talked about in the past. I think we talked about a prior podcast about Long Island entertainers. Ralph Macchio from Long Island, right, Mike?
Yeah. And from
Where's Ralph
Huntington,
Macchio from, Mike?
From Huntington?
Huntington, Long Island.
He lives in Miller Place. I think at this point now, considering the number of episodes that his name has come up, I think we should just officially name Ralph Macchio as a member of the Fun Pop fan gang, or at very least a friend
Honorary,
of the podcast.
Honorary member of the podcast, definitely. But yeah, so that's Karate Kid.
Which
Eric, you got a question?
my most Karate Kid movie is with Jackie Chan and Shane Smith.
Oh,
the
that's
new
right.
one.
So that was like the updated one, a new one, which was a reboot at first when it came out. It wasn't considered connected, and then they just recently, this past year, released a new Karate Kid, which connected it all. It had Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio, and the whole thing. So they've had a.
That's the only Karate Kid I know from Shane Smith and Jackie Chan.
There you go. Well, yep, definitely one of the, especially to me, greatest.
Shane Smith is a son of Will Smith. That's how I remember that.
That's right, son of Will Smith. So, the last member of this panel we got to get to, Mr. Mark Lazo himself. We haven't mentioned any. We've talked about basketball movies. We talked about football movies, boxing, wrestling. The America's pastime, baseball. There's been so many great baseball movies. You had The Natural with Robert Redford. You had
Don't Cry in Baseball.
Oh, there you go. Right, League of Their Own. You got comedies like raunchy comedies like Major League. You got family kids movies like The Rookie of the Year, actually, and the
Rookie of the Year, yes.
But Mark, what did you want to say today? Which baseball movie, famous sports movie that's one of your favorites?
And Rich, and I love every single one that you just mentioned. So not an easy pick for me, but I got to go with The Sandlot. I think this movie, for me, really captured so many parts of childhood. As I think a lot of these. Say that again, Eric?
I have a boy right there who's on the kid's arms. Yeah, that boy.
Eric, you're killing me, Smalls.
You're killing Smalls too, Rich.
Yeah.
Classic line, of course.
Classic line. I use that probably on a daily basis. I use that on a daily basis with Eric, pretty much. I think
it's a very quotable movie, and I have to say, for any of our audience members or even members of the panel that might not know this about me, that I am a big baseball fan. I have a life goal to see a game in every single stadium. And back in 2018, I had a very magical experience when I crossed the Oakland Athletics off of my list. Thankfully, I did, because they no longer exist. I'll never get a chance again. But when I crossed that stadium off of my list, it was the anniversary of The Sandlot. And after the game ended, they brought all of the fans out onto the field. And I got to lie on the grass while they did a fireworks show that was set to the soundtrack of The Sandlot, which had been playing. It was one of my absolute favorite baseball memories of all time.
That's awesome. That's great. That must have been awesome. The Great Bambino, yeah, The Sandlot.
You play ball like a girl.
Oh my god!
I might have to watch this tonight. Actually,
nice.
So we mentioned a lot of different ones. Let's give some quick honorary mentions. Let's see what other movies. We didn't mention any. Let's see. We got Hoosiers basketball movie. Hoosiers was considered a big one. How about the Mighty Ducks? We didn't talk about any hockey movies.
Mighty Ducks.
Rich,
Wow.
Rich, let's try to avoid any foul language on.
Mighty Elizabeth.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have to make the announcement that
So-
Mark Lazo is officially retiring from the Fun
Oh
Pop
no!
Fan, guys.
Oh man!
No,
Bad
don't
puns.
say that.
Just kidding. And then Friday Night Lights, which Dawn actually mentioned. How about Happy Gilmore?
Gilmore.
Yes, Happy
movie.
Gilmore.
Tappy,
All right.
tappy, tappy, tappy.
Tappy, tappy, tappy.
Double
Happy.
in the hips.
Just
It's
happy.
Oh yeah,
to-
Rich.
Featuring Mr. Carl Weathers, right? Big
Carl
Mike.
Weathers comes up again.
Carl
Look,
Weathers.
Yeah, and
everything
Rich.
Carl
connected.
Weathers and John Favreau fighting it out for the biggest connections. One more, let's see, The Natural, I think I mentioned. And
Well,
there
naturally.
you go. So
And Rich.
there we go, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, Eric.
And also we had a sequel with Becky Lynch. Happy Gilmore.
Happy
Oh,
Gilmore,
yes.
too, right?
Yeah.
Just came out on
Yeah.
Yes, Becky Lynch in that.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch. Awesome. Well,
Right.
guys, this was a great topic, I think. I hope everybody out there enjoyed watching it. But you know what? Everybody who's watching this, you have any are there any sports movies that we missed that you want to mention? Mention it down in your comments.
This one. Don't play baseball.
There's no crying in baseball.
Baseball.
That's right.
Any other parting messages, Eric, that you want to make sure our audience knows?
Oh yeah. Subscribe in the bell for the next video and all that stuff.
All that stuff. Come on, guys. It doesn't cost a penny. Just a like. Just give me a like. Don't make me beg. All right. Well, on behalf of myself and our all-star panel, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Any parting words, Rich?
Well, like I said, everybody, hope you enjoy the video. Also, you can click above. I think at the end of this, you might see little boxes that has our other videos. Definitely go on and check out our videos. Check out our page.
And Rich,
Got a lot of fun things, and also check out our segments video, our part 1 that we did last time. But yeah, well, thanks everybody. Mike, you got something to say before we go?
Yes, have a nice weekend and stuff. And Rich, Bob Barker was in Happy Gilmore. Bob Barker.
The price is wrong.
Right. Yeah.
that's
Not gonna finish it.
You're good for your hole.
Jonathan, any parting words?
Not really, no.
All right.
You're good for your home.
How are you enjoying being part of the Fun Pop Fan Gang?
It's awesome.
Awesome. I love to hear that. I guess
Jonathan,
you're really
welcome.
really adding a lot to it, Jonathan. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
And of course,
welcome.
Miss
You're
Miss
good for your
Dawn.
home.
Miss Dawn, you have any parting words?
Mute.
You're still on
Sorry,
mute,
on-
Don.
You're on mute.
Mute. Mute.
I would like to say to press the red button and to subscribe and press the like button.
That's right. Like the video. Thanks, Dawn, for mentioning that.
You're
Everybody,
welcome.
thumbs up, likes. All right, guys. Well, we gotta go, but we'll see you guys next time in the next video.
Yes.
And Mark, last word.
That's work.
Guys,
Mr. Mark.
hands,
Mark, let's
thank
go.
you for tuning in. Guys, we want to get to know you. Please comment. Let's have some
Yeah.
interaction here.
Right.
Looking forward to next time. Happy holidays, everybody. Talk soon.
Happy holiday.
And ball complete so
Adios.
Android to the low.
Will do.
All right, will do. Bye, guys.
Bye bye, Bulk. Bye, Rich.